Joining us now is Marc Caputo, White House reporter for Axios. Marc, congrats on this great scoop of an article. There's been so much mixed messaging from this administration on why now. The president said they were about to get a nuclear weapon today. Secretary of State Marco Rubio first said it was because Israel was going to attack on its own before backing that off. The White House press secretary said today it was because the president had a feeling that Iran was about to attack. You report it was actually this tip from Benjamin Netanyahu that the ayatollah and his henchmen were all going to have a meeting above ground, and it was a rare opportunity.
I think all those things can sort of live in harmony with each other. The question is, why did they open up the Iran war by attacking on Saturday morning? And the answer is because the ayatollah was a target of opportunity and they just couldn't pass it up.
And it's a rare one. He's been living mostly in underground bunkers. This was a very rare time that he would emerge into the daylight and be meeting with all of his close allies in power.
Yeah, I'm not very expert in the whereabouts and the goings-on of the former ayatollah. But what I do know is that that call was made, and then Trump went through a process. He got the CIA to check it out on Tuesday. On Tuesday, Trump gave a speech at the State of the Union and intentionally de-emphasized this as an issue, Iran generally, because he didn't want to tip off the Ayatollah and the leadership of Iran that he was starting to make up his mind. On Thursday, the CIA had come back with essentially confirmation that indeed the Ayatollah, the mullahs, the various people of the Security Council were going to be meeting there on Saturday morning in Tehran. And that's when the president really decided to do it. And then on Friday was the final decision. He pushed the figurative button. And then on Saturday, early Saturday, history was made.
So this was Israeli intelligence that unearthed this meeting, not the CIA. The CIA just confirmed Israeli intelligence?
Yes, that's our understanding from very good sources. You heard Caroline Levitt, who is not hesitant to criticize the media for getting something wrong, confirmed our reporting. That is to say, the New York Times got it wrong by saying it originated with the CIA. It was the CIA that was following what Israeli intelligence had unearthed.
You know, you bring up the State of the Union, and it's so fascinating because a lot of people noticed that. It was a record-long State of the Union address, and yet, you know, he only spoke about Iran for 2 to 3 minutes. And it's fascinating that that was a deliberate decision because they were afraid if he talked more about the Ayatollah might cancel that Saturday morning meeting. That opportunity might be lost.
Correct. There are some consequences to operating in such secrecy. Not only did they not tip off the Ayatollah and the Iranians, but they didn't tip off United States citizens who were abroad. And as a result, the administration wound up having to sort of play catch-up, or is, in helping evacuate people from the Middle East who didn't realize, oh my God, that a war was going to happen. Also, you had led off and just noted that there was mixed messaging, this muddled messaging. That's also partly a consequence of sort of rushing into this and deciding to strike first and then lay the foundation afterward. Normally, you lay the foundation ahead of time. Say, here's why we're going to do this. Here's why we're going to go to war. Here's why we're going to bomb. They didn't do that here. They had to do it after the fact, and they haven't really been clear and concise in that either.
Do your sources tell you, did Netanyahu say we can do this together or I can do it by myself? I'm gonna take out the Ayatollah on my own if you don't do it with me?
I'm unaware of that. I've heard a similar rumor that had sprung up from the prior operation, the 12-day war last year, that's been advanced by this former CIA agent who frequently gets things wrong because he just likes to trash Israel, that Netanyahu had threatened President Trump, essentially. That wasn't true then, and I would find it difficult to believe now. Donald Trump doesn't really respond well to negative pressure. Additionally, as we reported in Axios, Trump had sort of made a decision before this, about a week before, to possibly bomb, but it didn't quite work then. So he had basically made his mind up. He tried a last-ditch effort to get a deal, according to his people. That didn't happen. And then he decided to go forward, and here you go.
Yeah, he had amassed a third of the United States Navy in the Middle East and a huge amount of air power. He was clearly, it's a momentum that's hard to stop once you begin a buildup this big right on Iran's doorstep. But do you think these negotiations with Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, were they a ruse or were they in good faith and authentic?
The United States denies it's a ruse. The Iranians say it was. I wasn't there. I can say that, according to the administration, there are a variety of things that the Iranians did which showed that they were not negotiating in good faith. And as a result, this led the president to go to war, or I guess some elements of the Trump administration somehow deny this is a war, led him into military action.
All right. Marc Caputo, it's fascinating reading.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.